Hi there, I'm Ryan McGowan, and this is my presentation on digital forensics, peer-to-peer sharing. As you can see, I've outlined what I'm going to be presenting to you in this slide. It's a very general, broad outline. First thing we're going to cover is what exactly is peer-to-peer sharing. Next, we're going to look at what a peer-to-peer sharing model looks like compared to the more traditional server model. And then we're going to move into LimeWire, which is a peer-to-peer file sharing application that I chose to focus on for my presentation. And then we're going to look at how peer-to-peer sharing and LimeWire fit into digital forensics. What is peer-to-peer sharing? The first bullet, I just wanted to let you guys know that I will be abbreviating it throughout the rest of my presentation and on my web page as P2P. So whenever you see that, just know that it means peer-to-peer sharing. And basically, peer-to-peer sharing is a way of distributing information on the internet. A peer-to-peer network is a great place to host files on the internet. One of its main reasons for being so popular these days is that it powers file sharing programs such as BitTorrent clients, Kazaa, LimeWire, FrostWire, etc., etc. One of the main reasons it's able to do this is because it's harder for regulation. One of the main reasons it's become so popular is because it's harder to monitor and regulate, which makes it a prime place to pirate illegal music, videos, TV shows, and nowadays it's even becoming a well-known highway for trafficked child pornography. To understand how a peer-to-peer network differs from an original type of network, you first have to understand how the original works. The way most networks function is basically based off of a server model, which you see here in the slide. What that is a bunch of computers sending information to a server, with the server sending information back. A nice little comparison I thought of to help everyone understand how this works is by comparing a server model to learning. Basically, in a basic classroom setup, you have your one teacher with all the information, which would serve as your server, and your students, which would serve as clients, in this case computers, receiving the information from the teacher. However, in a peer-to-peer network, it's much more like a recitation, where everyone comes in with a little bit of information and shares a little bit of their information in exchange for some of someone else's information, just like how computers with certain files share them in order to receive new ones. One of the most popular, actually probably the most popular peer-to-peer sharing application right now is LimeWire. And if you've been paying any attention to the news, you would know that they've been having some legal troubles. But basically, what happened to LimeWire is once it got exploited by people trafficking pirated music and even child porn and such, it had been shut down recently by the government. And as you can see in this graphic right here, how LimeWire functions is it's an application that accesses a peer-to-peer network called Gnutella, Gnutella, which is hard to see the spelling on the graph. But that Gnutella network actually supplies about 48% of trafficking of illegal pirated music over the internet, as you can see. It's one of the biggest networks, and it's also used by a whole bunch of other clients such as LimeWire being the most well-known one. But here's a quote from an article I read online that explains the quote-unquote dark side of LimeWire and other Bit clients. So I'm not going to read through that for you guys. Take time to read through that. But basically all it's saying is that most digital forensics people working in the field have stumbled across LimeWire at one point or another. And it's usually not in the case of music, which is what most people would suspect. But now what's emerging and what digital forensics experts are finding in the field is that a large amount of child pornography has been being trafficked across these networks such as Gnutella and through the clients such as LimeWire, which is one of the main reasons it's been shut down by the government recently. In this slide, I've outlined how the music industry deals with LimeWire and other clients such as BitTorrents, Kazaa, BearShare, FrostWire, anything like that that is trafficking illegal music, pirated music they don't have copyright laws to. This is how they deal with them. The RIAA, or the Recording Industry Association of America, which is the group that is considered representative of the whole recording industry, and it is the legal entity that protects the right to recording artists and their works. And basically what the RIAA does is hires Media Century, which is actually another company, which is a team of digital forensics. So if you're wondering how digital forensics fits into peer-to-peer sharing, then this slide is for you. But what Media Century will do is they'll log on to a peer-to-peer website and they monitor the users. And what they'll do to track someone is they'll look up an artist such as, I don't know, Kanye West or Stevie Wonder, anyone that could have illegal music being trafficked. And what they'll do is look for the tracks that are original to the owners, and they'll look for people attempting to acquire the track. When people type in look up a song, they'll be able to see who's doing that. And what they do is they record their IP address of the downloader, and since every IP address is unique to a computer, then they can track that right back, and what Media Century will do is they'll give back that information to RIAA, and RIAA will determine whether they want to proceed with the investigation, and they'll take it from there. But the harder thing to deal with in the digital forensics aspect of peer-to-peer sharing is actually child pornography, because it's not as simple as hiring a team of digital forensics to Google an artist's name and find who's been trafficking child porn, because a lot of times child pornography will be encrypted or even stagged, which we learned about earlier in the class. And it's, in a place where JPEGs and MP3s are flying back and forth, millions of them at a time, guessing which JPEG is a stagged child pornography image is actually really hard to do, no matter how good you are with digital forensics. So that's one of the reasons that LimeWire has been shut down recently, because they just, due to infringement laws, and it's just been a big old mess that they're trying to handle. So as of now, LimeWire has been shut down. Here are the works cited that I used. Just a couple great websites you can check out. There's the Wikipedia page on peer-to-peer sharing. There is a page on here that goes over what the RIAA is, how they deal with stuff in a more specific sense. I kind of covered it pretty vaguely, but good enough to give you guys a general meaning. One of the more interesting websites is this one right here, the CNN link, which actually will take you to a article about LimeWire, which actually includes the CEO's interview. I mean, why not just bring it up right now? But in this article, he says a lot of really interesting stuff about LimeWire and what they plan to do in the future. But anyways, that is my video. I hope you enjoyed it and learned a bunch of stuff about peer-to-peer networks, how they function, how they're compared to a server-based network, and how digital forensics is related to everything about it. Have a good day. Give me an A.